investigation, solving mysteries in the night. Chasing shadows, finding answers, shining bright light. No one's left behind, in the darkness all alone. With a heart like a siren, she brings the lost ones home. Silent cries in the dark no longer have to be. For justice, wheels keep turning, granny on the beat. Broken voices find their power, call out hope again. When these crime busters run, no victims left in pain. Bravery in her veins, truth she won't disguise. With a fire in her eyes, she's got nothing to deny. Granny fights for justice, never backs down from the call. For the voiceless and the missing, she'll stand tall.
Hello, everybody. How is everybody doing tonight? All doing good. Hello, Ginger Girl. Good to see you. K9, good to see you, hun. Anyone else that's in the bushes back there? Hello. Come on in. So we're going to continue our discussion on Jack and Lily, of course, but I also have a couple of other things that I want to talk about. One that I had already finished my morning videos for, and I came across, and I thought, oh, just broke my heart. So I'm going to kind of share it with you guys tonight. But before we do that, we will start with our spotlight on the missing. Our first one, I may butcher her name, guys. I'm hoping I don't. Taya Yona Chavez. Taya has been missing since May 4th, 2025. She was last seen in Union City, Tennessee. She's 7 years old, 4 feet tall, 55 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. There is an endangered child alert out for her. Okay. I'm going to share my screen because we are going to actually look at the alert. All right. So she is believed to be with her non-custodial father, Jose Frere Chavez, in this green Chevy S10 pickup, Tennessee tag 433 BPFB. Okay. Jose is 39 years old, Hispanic male, 5'9", 175 pounds, black hair and brown eyes. Taya was last seen in Union City wearing a pink shirt and blue jeans. She may be with her non-custodial father, Jose Chavez. The two may be traveling in a green 1998 Chevy S10 truck with Tennessee tag 433 BPFB. They may be traveling to North Carolina. Jose Chavez is wanted by the Union City Police Department for custodial interference and especially aggravated kidnapping. So if you know anything, please call the Union City Police Department at 731-885-1515, 911, or 1-800-GBI-FINE. There is Taya. Okay. So if anybody knows anything, please call the police about her. It's very sad. All right. Our next one is Eduardo Valerio Rafael Perez. Eduardo has been missing since April 18th, 2023. He was last seen in Columbia, Tennessee, 16-year-old male, 5 feet 4 inches tall, 140 pounds, black hair, and brown eyes. Anybody knows anything about his whereabouts or his disappearance, please call the Columbia Police Department, 911, or 1-800-GBI-FIND. Got to bring these kids home, guys. Got to bring these kids home. Hello, Pam. I'm doing good. How are you? Brenda Joe, good to see you. Yes, yes, yes. We made it, guys. We're so excited. So we're going to have a party. 24th, Saturday, this coming Saturday, 2 p.m. We're going to have a party and do giveaways and play games. And we're not going to talk shop. We're just going to have fun. Okay? But we did. We finally made it to 1500. That's awesome. uh Celebrating that. All right. So before we get into our Jack and Lily discussion, I wanted to take about 20 minutes, go over this other case that, guys, I know it's going to break your heart too. And here's my thought, okay? What is wrong with people? What is wrong with parents nowadays? Thank you, K9. You're part of it too. You, Brenda Joe, everybody that's been coming here, we are part of this. I appreciate that. Thank you, Melissa. All of us need to celebrate because you guys are all part of this. All right, so this is about a mother. This mother right here, she bought gear and ammo for mass shooting, obsessed 13-year-old son. She actually bought it, and she showed what she bought on social media. She is proud of it. Yeah. Let's just listen to a little bit of it.
Year-old son showed up at school in a mask and tactical gear after he allegedly showed an obsession with mass shootings. And that's not even the most shocking part. Police say she bought all of that gear for him.
Things that were found inside the mother's house, that child's house, which also kind of was an indication to us that we needed to move very quickly.
Police say those things found in the home included magazines, an improvised explosive device, and swastikas. And just wait until you see what this mom posted on social media. Twisted, disturbing quotes and pictures with captions about pain and death. We're on the case presented by Law and Crime. I'm Chris Stewart. Angrier as it goes on, based on the information that we're getting from police in San Antonio, Texas, about a couple of recent arrests. Those arrests were of a mother and son. This is the mom, 33-year-old Ashley Pardo. Her son is 13 years old, so police are not releasing information on him right now, but he is still in custody. The mom posted bail, which you also might find shocking based on what I'm about to tell you. Police made the arrests on May 12th after Pardo's son showed up to his school, Rhodes Middle School in San Antonio, wearing a mask and tactical gear. He quickly left the school, so police don't know if he had a gun on him at the time. They were able to arrest him a short time later. Now, this was not the only time that police were concerned about this 13-year-old student, because they say over the course of months, he showed some very disturbing behavior, including an obsession with mass shootings.
So in October, we had a class for CPS that kind of broke down behavior that would be indicative of something that would lead to violence.
So here's my question. If the school has been noticing for months that this child was exhibiting disturbing behavior, why wasn't CPS called? Or if they were, then why wasn't something done, guys? I mean, thank goodness that police were notified at some point, and I don't know if it's because of social media or whatever. We'll find that out in just a second. But before he did do something. But guys, two of my videos that I did earlier for my morning one, I was begging people to please, if you see any kind of abuse going on or you suspect it, call police for a welfare check. And if it doesn't work the first time, do it again. Right? Because our children need to be protected. You saw the pictures of this home that this mother was in. She looked creepy, very creepy. I agree with you, Ginger. And the things that she was showing, I guess, on her social media. And how? Is she rich? She made bail already. She's back out in the streets, but her son is sitting in juvie. No worries, chemistry. Glad you're here. But I saw this and I just felt like I needed to talk about it because seeing, we're seeing this, right? Parents that have issues have children that have issues, right? Problems in the family it affects the entire family. It's not just one person that it affects. If you're a son and you grow up with a mother displaying this kind of behavior, well, what are you going to emulate? Right? Let's continue on for just a few minutes more here.
So they were involved with this family. They noticed things of that nature when dealing with the family, and they reported it to us. So in January, the juvenile was found in school drawing violent pictures. And then in April, he was found researching the mass shooting from Australia on the school computer.
Right there, the San Antonio chief is talking about mass shootings that happened in Christchurch, New Zealand. That was in 2019. It was an attack that left 51 people dead. You might remember it. A white supremacist attacked multiple mosques. And this is the attack that the San Antonio police chief says the boy in this case was obsessed with. He was suspended for this. And now we turn to this month when the chief says the same 13-year-old boy started scaring people once again.
On May 11, a family member saw the juvenile with a live bullet. He claimed his mother bought him the bullet and tactical gear. The next day, the family member found loaded magazines and an improvised explosive device and immediately contacted police.
Thank
the student
goodness.
arrived at Rhodes Middle School wearing a mask, tactical gear, but left shortly thereafter.
So you have this case where a 13-year-old has shown signs, according to police, of being obsessed with mass shootings. And then the mom, 33-year-old Ashley Pardo, allegedly goes out, buys him a live bullet, buys him tactical gear, and then on top of that, you have the weapons that police say they found in the home. Police say that Pardo and her son were arrested shortly after he left school, and they served a warrant at their house, and that's where they found images like swastikas in the home. It's unclear, police say, if the boy had any kind of actual contact with white supremacy groups.
Ashley Pardo had been contacted previously by police, the school, and CPS. She appeared to be dismissive and unconcerned with her son's behavior. Her behavior is not only dangerous, it's abhorrent, especially as a parent. Ashley Pardo has been released on bond. The juvenile remains in custody at the Bexar County Juvenile Detention Facility
Right now, Ashley Pardo is free from custody. Court records show that her bond was put at $75,000 and she was able to post that. She's now charged with aiding in commission of terrorism. Her juvenile son, just 13 years old, is facing a terrorism charge as well, according to police. And authorities say they are the first to face these terrorism charges in the history of Bexar County, Texas, because it's a new law on the books. At this point in the story, you might be wondering, who in their right mind would allegedly enable their son's obsession with mass shootings by going out and buying tactical gear, going out and buying ammunition for their kid? Well, we found Ashley Pardo's Instagram profile. The handle is the most miserable girl. Picture after picture on her profile, it is public, shows her flipping off the camera and talking about death and showing off her tattoos like this one across her stomach that reads pain. But what we found very disturbing were some of the quotes that she had archived in her story. This is one from a book that reads, quote, "Most only think good of you if you die. After you're dead, everyone will cry and say how good you were." And then you have this quote, which says, "Waiting for this world to end. Humans are only destructive. It's sickening. That includes myself. We're not productive. We are a disease." Hey, before we get back to this story.
All right. I've heard enough. She belongs behind bars. She was able to post a $75,000 bond, guys. I don't know if $75,000 was enough. She needs to be in jail. And that child needs to be taken away from her for good. My opinion, looking at everything that she's done, said, and buying her child tactical gear and you know, has guns and magazines and everything that evidently he had access to because he had access to the bullets, the live rounds. So, I don't know. Just really, really, really astounds me how people are able to get away with this kind of thing and still have custody of their children. That's not a mother, in my opinion. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I was shocked. I'm not going to play any more of it. If you really want to know about it, I'll actually put the link. I'll put the link in the description under Crazy Mom. So the link is now saved underneath the description for this video, guys. I'm not going to play any more of that. Isn't that something, though? I'm speechless. I'm just speechless. But let's continue. Move on with Lilly and Jack. I did want to share the RCMP update. Grizzly True Crime put this out, and I thought, well, I'm just going to use this one. Missing Lilly and Jack Sullivan, Nova Scotia. Ground and air search efforts were conducted May 18th in Pictou County as the missing persons investigation into the disappearance of Lilly and Jack continues. But they're ending the ground search for now. They did not go out today. Ground and air search efforts were conducted May 18th in Pictou County as a missing persons investigation into the disappearance of Lilly and Jack continues. More than 115 volunteer searchers from Colchester, East Hants, Eastern Shore, Halifax. Yeah, hard word. Valley. Do I dare try it? Musquotable. Oh, that's funny. That's a tough word. Pictou County, Pugwash, Spring Hill, Strait Area Valley, and West Hants Ground Search and Rescue, and the Civil Air Search. I'm sorry. Can't stop laughing over that word. Anyway, in an effort to locate Lilly and Jack and advance the RCMP investigation, the search was supported by Nova Scotia Public Safety Fields Commission and EHS Emergency Preparedness Special Operations. The search follows a large-scale air and ground search that began on May 2nd and was scaled back on May 7th in favor of more specific searches. We extend our sincere appreciation to the search and rescue volunteers who have selflessly given up over 10,000 hours of their time since the search began. Their tireless commitment in truly grueling conditions is appreciated by both the RCMP and the greater community. This weekend's search will be carefully reviewed and assessed by investigators and search managers to help in planning any further ground and air search efforts. So that was basically the update for that. Yes, chemistry, it is a sick world we live in. Very sick world. So, it's disappointing to hear that they only went the 2 days, and we know that they were searching specific areas, right? And there's all kinds of rumors out there about, neighbor, did the neighbor give a tip and what have you. But hey, Ginger, do you know how to pronounce that word? Since you're from Canada. Oh, gosh. I don't know why that struck me so funny. I think I have a built-in mechanism that when I hear something disturbing and I get off onto something else, the least little thing can make me laugh, which is kind of a, I don't know, a coping mechanism because, guys, honestly, the mom with the 13-year-old son, that really, really got to me. It just got to me. You can't say it either. Today is a holiday, so maybe they will go back out tomorrow. It's just, I want those kids to be found. I know we all do. So then I was looking at this one. Make sure you can see it all right. Okay. This is basically about what she had talked about. It just shows a map of where they lived. I'm just pinpointed. Nothing really, nothing really on it. So the one thing that stuck out at me was this one. The children's stepfather, Daniel Martel, was questioned by police for 4 hours. I don't remember hearing that. I know he was questioned, but I didn't know he was questioned for 4 hours. That's kind of interesting to me. They've covered 5.5 square kilometers, which is 2.1 square miles. And they did not uncover any evidence. So I know the terrain around there is very difficult, guys. But in Sebastian's case, didn't they go 5 square miles around his house? So I'm wondering why, maybe because they don't feel the kids could have gotten any further than that. I guess that would make sense because they're only 6 and 4, right? And the terrain is so rough. Hello, NH. Good to see you. The grief counseling has begun for this community. Yeah. Yeah, the school put out a letter talking about having resources and things because they've been pretty vocal without trying to be harsh about the fact that they don't believe the kids are alive anymore, right? So they're trying to help the community with their grief, right? I mean, Pam, I guess it's always a possibility, you know that they're watching, Mom. But the police, do not think there's been any kind of an abduction, which if Mom sold them, that is kind of an abduction. She would have had to take them somewhere. So for the search, it's based on the age of the children. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. And yes, Ginger, that's right. Daniel said that bank account information was given to the RCMP. Hello, Shelley. Good to see you. It was weird that the boyfriend said waist high in water. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. So Pictou County District RCMP Staff Sergeant Curtis McKinnon. We extend our sincere appreciation to the search and rescue volunteers who have selflessly given up over 10,000 hours of their time since the search began. Their tireless commitment and truly grueling operations is appreciated by both the RCMP and the greater community. We ask that people spread the word through social media respectfully about this investigation and all ongoing missing searches. They said investigators and search managers will review this weekend search to help plan future ground and air search efforts. And of course, if anybody knows anything, call 902-485-4333, Crime Stoppers 800-222-TIPS, or via the P3 Chips app. So, it does bother me that they haven't found them yet, Yes, but why, honestly, thinking about that quote about him going through waist deep water. I don't know. The other quote that got to me about what he said was when he said that his first thought was to get in his truck, and he ran around and got out and looked in culverts. Why was he looking in culverts? Right? I mean, seriously, it's that time of the year. It's spring. They've had quite a bit of rain. Culverts would be wet. He himself said that the kids don't like to be cold and wet. So why would they hide in a culvert? I'm just saying, I think there's a couple of things that are concerning, right? I'm not placing any blame anywhere. I'm just saying, there's a couple of things that are concerning, and the fact that he was questioned for 4 hours is a little bit concerning to me as well. Yeah, exactly, Canine. To me, if I looked around the yard and didn't see the kids where they live by all those woods, that would be my next place to go. It wouldn't be getting in a truck to search in culverts, right? And I guess that's what's concerning to me, because if they left, I mean, they're 6 and 4. Obviously, they didn't take a vehicle, So he, I don't know. That didn't make any kind of sense to me at all. At all. Yeah, why jump in your car? No sense. Whatever. Exactly, Shelley. We don't know exactly when they went missing, do we? We know when they were reported to be missing. 10 a.m. on Friday, May 2nd. But they hadn't been to school since Tuesday. So did step grandma and step uncle see them at all from Tuesday to Friday? I mean, that would be what I'd be questioning them. Did police ask them that? I'm sure they did. Yeah, first thought should have been looking in the woods on foot, period. But then, he made such a big deal about, just as you said, NH, running through the woods ahead of the drones and the helicopters and through waist deep water. Well, why weren't you doing that before the helicopters and the drones got there? My question. I'm just saying. Yeah. I agree, Canine. I think that they went missing early in the week. And yep, everything else is a story. It's kind of like Sebastian's case, right? I mean, it's hard to believe anything. There have been inconsistencies. Yeah, I mean, if your kids go missing, they're not anywhere in the yard. Did you spend any time in that yard? I mean, come on, guys. Did you spend any time in that yard? Because there's a lot of stuff to look under. I'm just saying. A lot of stuff to look under. And that's just the backyard that we're looking at here, right? Did he spend any time looking there, right? And then I would have branched out further. It's strange that the RCMP do not want to tell us who saw the children before they went missing. Yeah, they have a lot more information than we do. I think they're keeping that close to the vest because they don't want social media influencers to try to contact these people. they've already come out and said a lot about social media, guys. I'm honestly dotting my I's and crossing my T's to make certain that I do not cross any kind of a line in this case, because they're ready to pounce, honestly. So, just make sure you're using "in my opinion" or "allegedly" in your comments, okay? I don't want any of you to get in trouble either. Even when they say about then 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. is off, so anyone can believe they went missing on Friday. Yeah. Yeah. Well, and my question is, if they said that they kept them home because Lily was sick, well, okay. Doesn't they normally leave by 8 o'clock? And then again, and I've said this before, I know I have, and I don't mean to keep repeating myself, but why didn't they get up to check to see if she was okay or if she was well enough to go back to school? And then call the school and say, okay, she's not going to be there today. Right? Yeah. He didn't mention that at all. He said the first thing he thought of doing was going to his truck and driving around, and he was looking for in culverts. Which, makes me wonder. Waist deep water, culverts, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, why would children who are sick and don't like to be wet and cold go out into a rainy, cold backyard? It was raining that day too, wasn't it, Ginger? On the Friday that they went missing? And I agree with you, K9. I have faith that they're doing a good investigation, and that they're going to find out. I think they're doing things. They took a step back, got some tips. They did say they got 180 tips, but they did say many of them were not great. Okay. So, but what tips they did get, they put everything together and then they went back out and they did like an informed search, right? Specific areas that they wanted to check from the tips that they had gotten. Now they're going to come back, regroup, and do it again, I think, right? What are you talking about, Michelle? The weather has been cooler and raining a lot more than normal. Yeah, it's been cooler here too. And Shelley thinks the RCMP should backtrack on the whole week. It honestly looked like when they did their grid searches, the few photos that I did see, they were arm's length away from each other going through the woods, which is what you want, guys, right? Not saying you couldn't miss something, but that is what you want. You want arm's length away. That way, hopefully, you're not going to miss anything, right? But I mean, there's a lot of downed trees from a tornado that they had go through there. couple years back, I guess. And so the terrain is pretty rough. And Pam, you agree with backtracking? Well, what is your take on backtracking? What do you guys mean by backtracking? Shelley, don't get yourself in trouble with the RCMP. And please do not say I sent you. We have to we have to have trust in guys. I honestly, tomorrow and the 21st morning videos are ones you're not going to want to miss. And one of them, I do talk about how we need to back our policemen. We do not have any idea of what they see and what they go through. And I'm sure that the searchers and this kind of thing that has, they admitted that it was very difficult. I agree. The kids could not have navigated this terrain independently for a distance. Here's my question. We saw a picture of Daniel Martel and his brother was relaxing on a four-wheeler. You believe the children are so small they could have been overlooked. You're not too worried about the RCMP. Keep in mind, we don't want to be a hindrance, right? I mean, we don't. I'm just not a person that goes real life on things. If I have a tip that I'm going to share, yes. If I have criticism, not so much. Unless I find deep evidence of deep corruption, but then I'm not going to go to that person. I'm going to go above them. So, I think that anyone that has tips should definitely be calling them, obviously. I mean, anything that they may know about the family, and especially what the family did between Tuesday after school up to Friday morning. Yeah, I feel the same way. But were they taken by four-wheeler somewhere? Do you see what I'm saying about the four-wheeler? And I'm speculating, guys, right? I'm not accusing anyone of anything. I'm speculating because those kids could have been taken off in a four-wheeler somewhere. Right? Was it an accident? And so they had to try to, and so taking the four-wheeler into the woods is going to be not seen as quickly as taking a vehicle somewhere to try and, I'm just saying, speculation. But I really think that if anybody knows anything about where those, what was going on between Tuesday night after school up to Friday morning before the kids were reported missing, I think those are things that should be called in. Just saying. A possible boot print intrigues me. Yeah. it was, they said, on the edge of the property, and then it didn't go anywhere though. So, um, you know what I'm saying? Did they, I mean, I don't know. It's weird because there were no boob prints before it or after it. Kind of strange. Kind of strange. Just, you know, there's so many things that could have happened here. And, you know, police believe they're in the woods, right? Or they wouldn't be searching them. And they've gone back to the house. They've looked underneath the house, you know, so they're looking, guys. Should they go back over? Maybe. Maybe they'll decide to do that next, right? You guys said today was a holiday. I didn't realize that. So, yeah, maybe that's the next thing they'll do. You know, go over it again. It's been known to happen, right? NH, you're determined that Sebastian's at Ford's Pond, huh? Chris Watts was left alone to clean his track. Yes, he was. But he was found out eventually. Just like I believe that whoever is responsible for Sebastian's disappearance will be found out as well. Right? I would like to know if they have some kind of boat. Do you think they could afford a boat? I don't know. I guess they had a four-wheeler. Oh. Daniel has a fishing boat and was featured in a fishing magazine. Oh, God. Oh, Lord, help us. Oh, man. So what I'm saying is in the woods, if they were left in the woods somewhere, you know, saying that they're not alive, if they were left in the woods somewhere, it's not too late. It's a couple of weeks, but it's not too late to find fresh dirt, you know, things like that. That's what I'm saying. If they were to go back over. Ginger, do you know which magazine it was? Let's see. I'll try to Google it. Daniel Martell fishing magazine. No. I'm looking, guys. I don't know. I don't see anything. No, I don't know. They are using the drones to look for ground disturbances now. That makes sense. You know, guys, Whoever invented the drone, it's got to be a millionaire. You've seen the fishing thing somewhere? Which channel was showing his fishing awards? Yeah. Yeah, that was from us. He does have a he does have a channel that he's not active on, by the way. It was a few years ago before he met Malaya. He had a Pokemon YouTube channel. He showed himself opening up Pokemon cards. Oh, you don't want to go to the wrong granny and age. Oh my gosh, that's funny. There is another granny, but in my opinion, we don't want to talk about that other granny. She's not a granny, number one, so she makes other grannies look bad. I'm a real granny. I know what you mean. I know what you mean, NH. I know what you mean. Mine is Granny's Crime Busters. I'm not watching anybody. You're making me laugh. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Oh. I'm surprised you never ran across her before. She's much bigger than I am. I had seen all the fishing he had got also, and you don't get fish that size of a stream or a brook or a lake. Interesting. Interesting. So, yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Melissa. I like to say I'm the real granny. Oh, goodness. Guys are making me laugh. So let me see. There is another one that played some dispatch that we can listen to about the pink blanket. Okay. I don't know if we'll be able to hear all of it, but we can sure try.
For one, RCMP has confirmed that they searched the lakes and they didn't find anything. That's been a big topic online because Daniel Martell, who of course we know is the stepfather, previously stated that RCMP told him that they were going to search the lakes. When the question was posed to RCMP by the news outlets early on, they would not confirm or deny. Well, now RCMP has came back and confirmed it and said, yes, we did search the lakes, but we did not find anything. Second, another big thing that came out of there was the polygraph test. As you guys know, Daniel Martell previously stated that he agreed to take a polygraph test because Daniel Martell said he has nothing to hide and he wants to put these rumors to rest. You know, the online speculation about his possible involvement. Well, as you heard from that news interview, from the news overview, RCMP will not confirm or deny if Daniel Martell will be given a lie detector test. Now that's important because a lot of people have inquired if there's been an
Good night,
update. So
Pam.
that's the update on that. Okay, so please let me know, what are you guys' thoughts about this
Hi,
polygraph
Katie.
test? Now, of course, Daniel said he'll take it, as you know, but the authorities are not speaking out to confirm, and they have been pretty tight-lipped about the investigation in general, not wanting too much information to get out because of the speculation online. Now, I do want to get into this news article. The significance of this news article is the sliding door. If you recall, Daniel Martell, he's been pretty vocal, but the mother, Malaya, she's spoken on interviews too. But their stories have been pretty consistent regarding this glass sliding door, or this sliding door. What they state is they were sleeping, as you guys heard, and the kids may have, snuck out the house, or they were able to escape through the sliding door. So in this news article that's published, if you look here, it says Martell has said he was in the bedroom with his partner and their baby when he saw Lilly and Jack on the morning of May the 2nd. He recalled that Lilly was wearing a pink top when she had poked her head in the door of the bedroom prior to departing. Okay, so reading farther down, you'll see, right there, you'll see minutes later, he heard the sliding door that leads onto the backyard open and close. So this.
Have you guys heard that before? I found that interesting. That's why I wanted to play that. That he heard. Now, didn't Mom say that that door is quiet and you can't hear anything? I'm pretty sure that's what she said. Well, Shelley, they did check all the lakes. But the fact that he says he heard. So stories are changing here, right? Look at this picture that's up here, guys. She looks upset. She look upset to you? Cal Gal, good to see you. Welcome in. So, I mean, if he's laying in bed, I mean, somebody's not telling the truth. All right, so I'll go to Google Maps so that you can tell us. Okay, so here is where they live. Where is this bay that you're talking about? Are we talking about this bay over here? The Bay of Fundy is part of the ocean. So is the Bay of Fundy north or south of them? I don't see anything saying the Bay of Fundy. That's why I'm wondering. Towards the town, Granny. Okay. Is this it? How come they don't say what it is? Is this it, guys? Yeah, I'm looking. It sure isn't telling me what it is, though. Yeah, it sure would look at all the water. Yeah. You were there, all the open water. Okay. So this one right here is the Bay of Fundy. Yeah, they're just not really saying what it is. None of the waterways are, like this one is North Cumberland Strait. Pictou Island. Well, what if I did this? Bay of Fundy, Canada. Oh, this is the Bay of Fundy. Okay, so I see. And I think they were over here by Truro, right? Okay, that makes sense now. There we go. And they're over here. I believe, over by Truro. So this bay flows into the Bay of Fundy. Aha. All right. Well, and then that flows into the ocean. Out here. Well, guys, if the kids were dumped there, they'll never be found. Because they'll be out in the ocean. Oh, Melissa, be safe, hon. Another creator was showing a bay of water that is right next to the road they live on. Okay. So if we go back to Gerlich Road, this is where they live. I mean, there's a couple of lakes. You know, these are all lakes through here that do flow into the Bay of Fundy. Or, you know, rivers or whatever, right? But I don't see a big body of water that would flow. Just, you know, if you come down here, if it flows this way, it's going to flow into this one and then into the Bay of Fundy right here. It's the Bay of Fundy. I mean, so they all kind of connect. Hello, Justice Jane. Good to see you. That's what's bothering you? That if they were dumped there in the bay, yeah, they'll never be found then. Where is that bay? Okay, I'll show you. Okay, here's where they live, okay? If you go southwest, you have Cobequid Bay. Cobequid Bay flows into the Bay of Fundy, which is right here. And the Bay of Fundy flows into the ocean. So you have to go southwest from Gerlach Road. It bothered me that Daniel didn't seem upset during his last media appearance. Yeah. They told both the parents that the children didn't survive. So, yeah, it is a little too convenient, isn't it, that bay. How far is that? So, Why wouldn't you be able to do that? Oh, whoa. Where did that go? Where'd that come from? Okay. So I'm trying to figure out how far it is. Berwick, Nova Scotia, because Berwick's kind of right here, so that's pretty close to where. So it's a 2-hour drive, guy, or 2.5-hour drive. But seriously, they wouldn't even have to do that, would they? Let's go. Because if they dumped them in this basin, that's only 42 minutes to get to this Cobequid Bay, which flows into the Bay of Fundy. So somebody could take their boat here and come right into this bay. Wow. Wow, 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 guys. Correct, Granny. And like I said, those fish were not caught in a stream or brook or lake. He's fished way out to catch fish that size. Yeah. Yes, I'm sure he does. If he's lived there his whole life, I'm sure that. It's crazy. I don't know. You know, I guess I never thought about that fact. If he does have that boat, like Ginger said, and he took the boat to the Coke, whatever the name of that. Let me look. What? Cobequid Bay, and then took that into the Bay of Fundy. You know, I mean, if you're thinking like a criminal, right? What's better? Dump kids in the woods behind your house, or take them to the bay where they'll just go out into the ocean, never to be seen again? Wow. So somebody's going to end up having to talk, basically, for us to find out what happened here. Somebody's got to know something. You're right, K9. They had about 70 hours since anyone besides the parents saw the kids. Yeah, that's very, very true. Wow. It looked like this might lead down into the other part of the ocean as well. But that would be the easiest way. Take your boat out here, come into the Bay of Fundy, you're done. Oh, well, that's disturbing, guys. I don't like that we figured that out. Yeah, Daniel's brothers seem very calm and relaxed, right? The SS Titanic is where it had gone down. A lot of those people are laid to rest in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Wow. Right here. So this is where the Titanic went down? In here? Wow. Interesting. And that is where, yeah, no, I get you, Shelley. I understand. Um, no worries. It just, you always hope that the kids will be found, right? I hate when there's no closure. And I don't like that word either, but you know what I'm saying. I hate when there's, so I'm really going to be praying that somebody opens up and speaks and just admits what happened. Out further, but Halifax was the closest part. Yeah. Because I followed where that submarine exploded down by the Titanic. Was it last year? And it's like, was it like 180 miles out from the coast or something like that? Do they even have it marked, I wonder? Must be further out this way. Gotta be. If they don't have anything else marked on here, they're not going to have that. But yeah, I get it. So, gosh, that's something. Newfoundland, and it's out that way also. Gotcha. Ugh. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. In this case, I'll just be honest. It's hard for me to believe that both mom and Daniel didn't know something, that they don't both have guilty knowledge. Just saying. Could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But I mean, we don't know for sure what happened, but if somebody was going to get rid of children, that would, I guess, be the easiest way. The doggone ocean's too close, guys. It's too close. If you think about it. Even the North Cumberland Strait, does that flows out into the ocean? That's not very far from their house, from Pictou. You know? No matter which way. I mean, they've got plenty of area where they could get to the water. If he is a real fisherman with a boat. Right here, guys. That's real close. Just saying. calling the cleaning up because they have seen remarks people have said. Yeah. Absolutely, they have. They're watching, they're watching what's being said on social media for sure. Oh, did anyone else notice that Daniel and his family have been cleaning up the yard? Because they're watching what people said. That's what you meant. Gotcha. I'm praying that RCMP finds something when they go over all of the drone footage. Yeah. I don't know. After seeing these waterways, guys, and knowing that Dan was a fisherman, I'm just really, I don't know, when you think about it, when you think about Daniel saying, I was running in waist deep water, and then he was looking in culverts, it's almost like he's telling us something. I hate to say that, but maybe I've listened to too much of Mr. Yummy. I'm just saying, Mike Demand, because, yeah, if I was told my children were no longer alive, I wouldn't be able to breathe, let alone speak to the media. Yeah. Me either. Yeah, see, I'm not a lobster fan. Isn't that crazy? But I do love shrimp, fried shrimp. I'm just not much of a seafood person. Mom said, I hope they are not wet and dry now the sun is out. That's true. Mom did say that, didn't she? Good point, Neural. Good point. Welcome. Did I say hi to you before? Welcome in. Yeah. That's a good point. Mom did say that, right? If they were in the water, though, they're not going to be dry. You guys are the seafood industry here. Well, I don't help you out. I don't help out your industry that much. I'm sorry to say, Shelley. Oh, catfish. I'm not I'm much of a fish eater either. I'll eat it every once in a while and it's fine. It's got to be breaded. Brenda tells me I'm a fussy eater. I watched some interesting comparisons of them to other parents of missing kids, guilty and not guilty. Gotcha. See, I don't want to do that. Right? Because I don't want to, I just feel like it goes back to what I was saying about morals and integrity in the industry. And I mean, we can speculate and things like that, but to compare guilty to guilty or innocent, I don't know. I just don't want to do that. It goes all over the world. Well, that's good. I'm sure I wouldn't have made a dent even if I loved it anyway. Hello, Cecilia. Good to see you. Canine likes any kind of shellfish. Gotcha. I did try crab, wasn't a fan. And it's not that I hate lobster. I mean, but I mean, I know a lot of people absolutely love lobster, and I'm just not there, right? I'm just not. Let's just say this. If there was breaded shrimp or lobster on the menu, I'm going to take breaded shrimp every single time. I'm not going to order lobster. It's just the way I am. But yeah, that is something. So I've heard a couple of different things about this pink blanket. I heard Mom said it was Lily's and Daniel said it wasn't. So I don't know. It's kind of like between a Katie and a Seth thing, right? It's weird. It's just weird. But let's go back and listen to a little bit more of that to see what else they had to say.
That Daniel Martell told any news outlet that he heard the sliding door. Because if you recall, Daniel Martell previously said that it took him about 20 minutes to notice that the kids were missing. And when he noticed that they were missing, he immediately jumped into his vehicle. If you haven't been following it on my channel, please go check out the previous video where I discussed it. He said he jumped into his vehicle, and he started searching for Lilly and Jack Sullivan. Another significant part of this is because apparently the 911 call, the frantic 911 call from Malaya was placed approximately 10 a.m. But on the dispatch audio, I played that yesterday. I uploaded a video, on my channel. It stated that the kids were last seen at approximately 8 a.m. Now, keep in mind that RCMP has not released an official timeline. This is a news article that was published. There are mistakes that are made in a news article, but this news article clearly states that Daniel Martell said he heard the glass sliding door. So if Daniel Martell did indeed hear the glass sliding door, this is the first time that I've seen it in print for it to be written in this way. Okay, so RCMP has spoken out and they stated that more than 180 tips have been received, though many were determined to be unhelpful. So there was some hope as far as the number of tips that was received, and people were saying, hopefully this is why they renewed the search. Well, if you listen early on in the video, they had suspended the search because the searchers, they were getting exhausted. So they temporarily suspended it. They initially said that they would resume the search. They rested and they came back. So the tips, they said, were determined to be unhelpful, and it was all.
Look at that terrain, guys. They put up pink ribbons to show where they had searched. But look at how that person is standing. She's walking sideways up kind of along a hill there. And look at everything that, there's trees down. This is awful. And they're trying to walk through that. Not only that, they said they could actually see ticks crawling along the ground. That's how many ticks were out there. It was horrible. Last I heard, it was up to 200 tips have been sent in. Yeah. And this Shinatra, whoever, I don't know how to say her name, but she's right. I mean, there is a discrepancy in what Dan has said, right? He has also used Lilly. He's talked about Lilly in the past tense, which is never good, ever. I mean, we know that, right? But yeah, on the pink blanket, there's some controversy going on about that. And the mine shaft, evidently they must not have found anything. Yeah, rubber boots are not the best footwear for the woods. So, I know what this person is trying to do. They're trying to keep the ticks off, but I mean, yeah, anything goes through rubber, so it's not really a good deal, is it? Not the best footwear. Big, thick rubber soles, steel-toed. Yeah. Yeah, Cecilia, it is sad. But I don't know. I'm really, it's going to be, I wish RCMP would give another press conference where they actually speak, because it would be nice to hear what their thoughts are. If they're going to go back out in the woods or what, right? Or if they're like us and they're wondering about the waterways here. I don't know. I don't know, guys. The more I look at this and how easy it is for somebody to get to the waterways to get rid of some kids. Look at that. Going north would be the easiest way, in my opinion. Oh, that's sad. Very sad. All we can do is keep an eye on what they're doing. RCMP, I mean, they are kind of letting us know, right? They're letting us know what's going on. They said they were going to end the search for now, take a look at everything and reassess, right? So I think, hello, Salty, good to see you. Or should I say Gigi? Good to see you, hon. So I think that the only way we're going to get closure on this case is if somebody breaks down and speaks. Yeah, Shelley, that looking at this water, how easy it would be for somebody to get to the ocean and then they're done. I mean, that, to me, that would make more sense than dumping them in the woods, right? I mean, because you saw that picture, guys. Would you want to be trudging through that? Or would you rather just get on a boat? I could tell you what my answer would be. I have a fear of drowning, so I wouldn't go on the boat. Oh, goodness. Uh, yeah, Cecilia. I mean, it makes more sense, right? Um, because out here where you can see trees are down, I mean, there's limbs everywhere you walk, right? She's standing on unlevel ground, kind of on a hill sideways. You know, it's not easy terrain. They said that, and this is a clear picture of that. Yeah, and him into fishing. I mean, it makes more sense to go the water route. Oh yeah, yeah. The yeah, both Mom and Daniel were very quick to push the narrative to abduction, in my opinion, and asking for an Amber Alert, that kind of thing. And the police have said straight out that, you know, they have not been abducted. There's no evidence that they were abducted. You know, however, it seems as though there is no evidence that they walked out into the woods in their backyard either. So, because it was rainy and muddy, there would have been more than one boot print, right? I'm just saying, I think that um you know, that they would have left more evidence if they had really walked out into those woods. That's my opinion. You know, I don't know. So sad. So sad. And it 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 really grieves my heart because I hate the thought that those kids are never going to be able to come back and have a proper burial kind of thing. Um, yeah, that's just, it's almost like out of sight, out of mind, boom, done. Right. And in this case, the person, whoever did this, if they dumped them into the ocean, that person knows that those bodies will never be found. Daniel's fishing history was either on Grizzly or Flunder. Gotcha. Okay. Maybe I'll look that up and we'll kind of look at that tomorrow, because maybe maybe they'll say where his favorite fishing hole was. That could give us some clues, right? You got to wonder. And the parents know, like me, crossing any border here is just driving through from one province to the next, except going to PE, and you pay to go across the long bridge. Gotcha. Gotcha. So, no real passports or anything like that, just having to pay if you go across a long bridge. Interesting. Well, I don't know. I don't know. I look at these two kids' faces and my heart hurts for them. My heart hurts for them. They didn't even have a chance to live life yet, right? Didn't even have a chance yet. All right. So today's grannyism kind of goes along with what we talked about a little earlier. How family problems don't just affect one person. They affect everyone involved, right? They affect, Lily and Jack being gone doesn't only affect Malaya and Daniel. They affect Daniel's mother and his brother, Malaya's family, um, Lily and Jack's dad's family, and the entire community in Pictou County, right? It affects everyone involved. The entire community is involved in this tragedy, right? It even affects us because we care. Correct, Granny. The bridge is built across the ocean to Prune Edward Island. Gotcha. What a name of an island. Prune Edward. Is it? Please tell me it's not named after Prince Edward. Could be. Interprovincial travel is part of our charter rights. Gotcha. Prince Edward Island. So it is named after the prince. Yeah, exactly. Look how many are affected by Sebastian's case. Because we care. Yeah. Thousands. Thousands of people are affected by Sebastian's case. So something happening to one person in a family affects everybody and more. Because we involved ourselves in Sebastian's case, right? Now we've involved ourselves into Lily and Jack's case. How did we involve ourselves? By talking about it, by caring about these precious children, right? We involved ourselves in Summerwell's case and more. So Megan Boswell's sentencing coming up, guys. I will cover that. So, yeah, so many things. So many people are affected. When one person goes missing. So many people. Yeah, I figured. Honestly, the Jersey lady, yes. At first, I was thinking of Prince Andrew. But yes, I know Prince Edward is a lovely family man. I like the British family, the royal family, for the most part. Yeah. I mean, they're all affected, aren't they? The classmates or teachers, even the bus driver. I did hear something today that none of the teachers have come out and said anything about Lily and Jack, but the bus driver did, didn't he? So, yeah, I mean, this, I don't know who wrote this, it's unknown, but this quote just really kind of hit me today, especially, well, look at the case that we talked about earlier with the crazy mom. Her 13-year-old was affected by her, right? And now he's sitting in juvenile detention and she's out on the streets. And who else in their lives was affected? That situation right there could have been a mass shooting, guys. Yeah, that's true. You know, RCMP, you know, it's, I don't know about you guys, but RCMP seems to be more respected than law enforcement in the United States. I'm just saying. It seems as though wasn't it Maggie that was here the other day and was telling us that the locals just are not talking? They only talk amongst themselves and to the RCMP. So I really honestly think that that's incredible. Because if RCMP told them not to speak, they're not talking. And guys, I get that. I'm glad they're not, because it could be the same exact doggone problem as we've had with Sebastian's neighbors, right? Look what those poor people went through. So I'm glad they're not. I'm not going to criticize them for not speaking out. And some people could say, well, they could say good things. And they could, but what good is that going to do? We know that their children, 6-year-old little girl and a 4-year-old little boy, and they're precious in God's sight. What more do we need to know than that? And they're gone. See, and that makes sense. I had to sign a confidentiality agreement to be a public school teacher and daycare worker in Ontario. Makes sense to me. Yep. Well, it's the way to go, Shelley, honestly. You know, and if nobody believes that, all you have to do is look at Sebastian's case to know what, you know. So that's a really good example, or a bad example, whatever you want to call it. But, you know, a good example of what can happen when you open yourselves up, when neighbors open themselves up and start talking to, and not just media, but social media creators, right? And I know that I've not had one single person on here to interview, guys. It's not because I don't want to. I would love to, but I don't, and I haven't, because I don't want to put anyone in a bad position open to attack, or my channel, honestly. Right? I don't want that. I don't desire growth that badly to warrant anyone being attacked and their words chewed up and spit out all over social media streets, YouTube streets. No, I would never want to see anyone hurt that way. Ever. Yeah, NH, exactly. Too far. Things in that case. And, I saw it related to as a toxic case. And it is. It's become toxic. It's horrific, right? It's horrific. Sebastian's case is horrible, but it's a toxic wasteland of garbage. And he did not deserve that. He does not deserve that. You don't think he's too far just hidden because of an accident? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I hope that he's alive and well somewhere, and that he will be found, but before he turns 18. I don't even like to put a limit on it because I put I put his birthday as a timeline, I put his Christmas as a timeline, and then I stopped. I was like, oh, come on. Those came and went, and he's not here yet, right? And don't get me wrong, porch still lit up green for him. Shorts are still going out every day with his name and face and number to call, right? I mean, and I pray for him every day because I want him home with his dad. And now I'd love to see Lilly and Jack home, but honestly, our CMP do not believe that they're alive, but it would still be nice for them to come home for a proper burial, wouldn't it? I just don't know if that's possible anymore. So I want to thank you guys. Yeah, my heart is broken for Seth too. Yeah. Most definitely. Most definitely. And you know what's really sad is Summer doesn't have a Seth, right? Lilly and Jack, do they have a Seth? I don't know yet. Because I don't know what to make of the parents at this point. Exactly. And that's my stand as well. Seth has asked us to keep the faith, put out positive thoughts for Sebastian. I will do that for Seth so it helps ease his pain. And that's the way I feel too. We have never entertained the thought that Sebastian is gone here on this channel. And we won't for this very reason. Because my heart breaks for Seth, just like Shelley said. And I won't do anything to further inflict pain on that man. I just won't. I just will not. And I realize not everybody feels that way. But that's a stand I've kind of taken here because I don't, like I said, I don't want to inflict any pain on Seth. If he was ever in here, and I know I have seen it, I have been in chats where the chat has been talking horrific things that could have happened to Sebastian. And Seth had to leave because he couldn't stand it. I would never, ever want Seth to be in my chat in the bushes somewhere and see something like that in my chat. I'm just saying. It doesn't mean that I feel anybody else is wrong, right? Doesn't mean that at all. Doesn't mean that at all. Everybody has a right to their opinion, but I am not going to make a father's pain any worse than it already is. So I hope you guys understand my thoughts on that. And NH, I hear you. It was an odd statement for him to say that after being in the woods, Lily's backpack could be brown, even though it was white with strawberries on it. That was a very odd statement. Very odd. You know, and we get that, right? We get that there are some weird things that have been said by both the mom and the stepdad in this case. But you know, we don't know what happened. We don't know who's guilty. Everyone is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. And until or unless somebody is charged with something, you know, I just don't want to go there. I don't want to accuse anyone of anything. But anyway, guys, that's all I really had for today. I want to thank you all for being here. Please, 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 if you wouldn't mind, hit the like button on your way out. Be sure to set the notification bell to all so that you are notified when we do go live. Or if I put up a post saying won't be going live today, I usually always let you guys know. You know, you'll either see live coming up or no live today on a post. But hugs back to you, NH. Yep. I thank you guys so much. I really, really enjoy our time together every night. Tonight was especially enlightening about the waterways. Enlightening and kind of frightening and sad at the same time. But thank you guys for being here. I hope you have an awesome, awesome night. Thank you for watching another episode of Granny's Crime Busters. We really appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget to subscribe and like and even share the content. You can follow us on any of our other social media platforms at YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. We really appreciate you guys, and you can also email us at granniescrimebusters@gmail.com. Thank you so much, and we will see you on the next one. Thanks, guys.